Boeing, pillar of global aerospace. A look into the history of this global giant by Untold Facts from Morale Edutech. The Boeing Company is one of the world's largest aerospace manufacturers and defense contractors. Headquartered in Arlington, Virginia, Boeing designs, manufactures, and sells airplanes, rotorcraft, rockets, satellites, and telecommunications equipment. It also provides leasing and product support services. Boeing is a cornerstone of the global aerospace and defense industry, playing a critical role in both commercial aviation and military technology. Established in 1916 by William E. Boeing in Seattle, Washington, Boeing initially focused on producing seaplanes. Throughout the years, it has evolved into a global aerospace leader through innovation, mergers, and acquisitions. A significant turning point occurred in 1997 when Boeing merged with McDonnell Douglas, significantly enhancing its presence in the defense and aerospace sectors. With an employee strength of around 172,000 and 3 final assembly plants, along with an array of offices and maintenance centers across the globe, Boeing is one of the leading companies in the world. The organization was initially called Pacific Aero Products Company, but it changed its name to Boeing Airplane Company in 1917. Boeing's inaugural aircraft, the B&W Seaplane, was constructed in a boathouse using wood and fabric. It was the first Boeing product and carried the initials of its designers, William Boeing and Lieutenant Conrad Westervelt USN. The Boeing B-1 is a small biplane flying boat designed by William Boeing shortly after World War I. The company primarily concentrated on manufacturing military trainers during World War I. However, following the conclusion of the war, Boeing encountered a decline in military demand and transitioned to airmail and passenger services. The Boeing Model 40 was a single-engine biplane that was widely used for airmail services in the United States in the 1920s and 1930s. 1927, Boeing creates Boeing Air Transport, a forerunner to United Airlines. The Boeing 80 is a 3-engine biplane. The Model 80 was built for Boeing's own airline, Boeing Air Transport, successfully carrying both airmail and passengers on scheduled services. The Boeing Model 95 was a single-engine mail plane in the late 1920s to supplement the Model 40s being used on Boeing's airmail routes. 1930s, Boeing's Model 247 becomes one of the first modern airliners, featuring an all-metal design and retractable landing gear. During World War II, Boeing became a key defense contractor, producing iconic bombers like the B-17 Flying Fortress and B-29 Superfortress. Post-war, Boeing transitioned back to commercial aviation while maintaining its defense production. The Model 307 Stratoliner is a 4-engine low-wing tailwheel monoplane airliner derived from the B-17 Flying Fortress bomber, which entered commercial service in July 1940. It was the first airliner in revenue service with a pressurized cabin, which with supercharged engines allowed it to cruise above the weather. The 314 Clipper was a long-range flying boat produced from 1938 to 1941, one of the largest aircraft of its time. It had the range to cross the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The Stratocruiser was a large, long-range airliner developed from the C-97 Stratofreighter military transport, itself a derivative of the B-29 Superfortress, and its first flight was on July 8, 1947. Design features included passenger decks and a pressurized cabin. It could carry up to 100 passengers on the main deck plus 14 in the lower deck lounge. Typical seating was for 63 or 84 passengers or 28 berth and 5 seated passengers. The 707 is a pioneering long-range narrow-body airliner, marking the first jetliner created by Boeing, evolving from the Boeing 367-80 prototype. Took the skies on 1957, featuring a swept-wing quadjet design with pod engines. Its wider fuselage cross-section enabled 6 abreast seating in economy class. Discontinued in 1979 with a total of 865 planes built. The B-720 is a narrow-body airliner as a derivative of the B-707, designed for shorter flights from shorter runways. Made its first flight in 1959 and began operations with United Airlines in 1960. In total, 154 units of the B-720 until 1967. The B-717 is a twin-engine, five-abreast narrow-body airliner developed for the 100-seat market, originally produced by McDonnell Douglas in the early 1990s as the MD-95 until the company merged with Boeing in August 1997. Production of the type ceased in 2006 after 155 were delivered, with 99 examples remaining in service as of November 2024. The type has not been involved in a hull loss or fatal incident. The B-727, only trijet aircraft to be produced by Boeing, a narrow-body airliner that was developed and produced after the heavier 707 quadjet, was introduced in 1958, addressing the demand for shorter flight lengths from smaller airports. The first commercial flight was in 1963. Production ended in September 1984, with 1,832 having been built. The B-747 is a long-range wide-body airliner, establishing itself as an icon of long-distance international travel. In 1968, the first 747 was rolled out of the custom-built Everett plant, the world's largest building by volume. It entered service with Pan Am in 1970. The 747 was the first airplane called a jumbo jet as the first wide-body airliner, typically accommodating 366 passengers in 3 travel classes. The final 747 was delivered to Atlas Air in January 2023 after a 54-year production run, with 1,574 aircraft built. The B-757, a narrow-body airliner, started commercial service in 1983. After 1,050 had been built for 54 customers, production ended in October 2004. The B-737 is a narrow-body aircraft produced at its Renton factory in Washington. Developed to supplement the B-727 on short and thin routes, the twin jet retained a 707 fuselage width and 6 abreast seating. Made its first flight in 1967 and entered service 1968 with Lufthansa. Evolved through 4 generations, offering several variants for 85 to 215 passengers. It was the highest-selling commercial aircraft until being surpassed by the competing Airbus A320 family in 2019, but maintains the record in total deliveries. As of May 2025, 16,956 B-737s have been ordered and 12,092 delivered. The B-767 is a wide-body airliner launched 1981 and entered service in 1982. With United Airlines, it has a 7-abreast cross-section accommodating a maximum of 269 passengers. A total of 742 of these aircraft were in service in 2018, with Delta Airlines being the largest operator with 77 aircraft in its fleet. As of May 2025, the company has received 1,430 orders from 74 customers, of which 1,330 airplanes have been delivered, while the remaining orders are for cargo or tanker variants. The B-777, commonly referred to as a 777, long-range wide-body with a 10 abreast seating layout and typical 3-class capacity of 301 to 368 passengers, is the world's largest twin jet and the most built wide-body airliner. Designed to bridge the gap between Boeing's other wide-body airplanes, the twin-engine 767 and quad-engine 747, in consultation with 8 major airlines, first flew in 1994 and entered service with the launch operator United Airlines in 1995. As of May 2025, more than 60 customers have placed orders for 2,382 777s across all variants, of which 1,757 have been delivered. The B-787 Dreamliner, which can carry 200 to 300 passengers, entered commercial service in 2011 with ANA. Is the first airliner with an airframe primarily made of composite materials and makes greater use of electrical systems. Externally, it is recognizable by its 4-window cockpit, raked wingtips, and noise-reducing chevrons on its engine nacelles. As of first half of 2025, the 787 program has received 2,137 orders and made 1,189 deliveries. Boeing operates through 4 major divisions: commercial airplanes, defense, space, and security, supplies military aircraft, satellites, and defense systems, global services, offers maintenance, upgrade, training, and logistics. Boeing Capital Corporation provides financing for Boeing's customers. Boeing aims to enhance its environmental footprint by targeting net zero carbon emissions by 2050 for its operations and supporting the industry's broader sustainability goals. From a wooden seaplane housed in Seattle Boathouse to a leading global aerospace giant, Boeing's narrative is characterized by daring innovation, remarkable achievements, and considerable obstacles. Its development reflects the advancements of the aviation and aerospace sector, a tribute to the revolutionary impact of flight. Boeing continues to be a key player in the aerospace sector, recognized for its engineering prowess and worldwide presence. Despite encountering significant challenges, its ongoing commitment to safety, innovation, and international cooperation may influence the future of aviation and defense for many years ahead. Thanks for viewing this presentation. Please share and subscribe to our channel.